What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
And today we are diving into Handmaid's Tale Season 3, Episode 1. If you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome. We are a show about shows. We really love chatting about entertainment, character arcs, growth, plots, developments. We really like to try to predict things, which is why we're going back through the Handmaid's Tale. So just a quick caveat, so you're up to date on what's going on if you're just tuning in for the first time. I dove into Season 6 blind. Liam had seen everything up to it. You, as the viewer, went on that journey with us and helped us kind of help me really piece things together and figure some things out. I got some predictions right. I got a lot of things wrong, but it was a lot of fun. And because of that, you asked us to go back through the whole season, and because majority vote, and we really kind of wanted to too, we're going back through, and I'm experiencing it for the first time and giving you guys my real reaction. It's been awesome in the comments to hear what your theories, having you weigh in on what you're seeing, what you believe, if you think I'm right or wrong. And our live calls have been really great too. So we're going to dive in today, specifically Season 3, Episode 1. We're going to be chatting about that. So if you enjoy this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. I'm going to stop talking and we'll see you down in the comments. Well, I'm not going to stop talking, but I'm going to stop monologuing.
Okay, all right. So we start off the episode with June looking lost and confused, and out of the dark comes a lone savior.
Yeah, I really do think that I'm going to enjoy Season 3 specifically because now we have Commander Lawrence. Season 6 was one of my favorite characters, and so now to have him, for the rest of the time we're running through this is going to be great. And he does not disappoint anytime he's on screen.
Gallows humor is great with him.
Yeah, and we enjoy Gallows humor. So, yeah, he doesn't disappoint. And so to see him come back and be, the reason June gets back to town and ultimately, I guess, attempts to get her daughter. I'm not going to go down that avenue again. We've beat that horse to death already, so I'm not going to talk about how I feel about her decisions. But she does go back to try to grab her daughter and backfires in her face right away and gets caught.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation with Hannah's foster mother, I'll call her, Commander Mackenzie's wife, Miss Mackenzie, very different than I thought that was going to go.
Yeah, why?
Most of the commanders' wives that I've seen, I guess like Naomi, they almost are disgusted by the idea of what has to happen. They like the outcome, but they're disgusted by having the handmaid around or having to deal with her, or they look down on them and they don't really think of them as people. And so for Miss Mackenzie, Commander Mackenzie's wife, to take the time to open her heart and share a little bit about the daughter and almost meet her on a mother to mother level for a minute and let her know hey, she's good. We're doing the best we can with her. She's actually loved and cared for. She has a good life. The most trouble she's had is recently, and it was due to her having to see you at the summer home, and she had the nightmares. And, if you keep persisting like this, inevitably she's going to see you get killed, and that's not what any of us want. And I don't think she was saying that out of malice or cruelty or hey, we're going to kill you. It's just a straight heart to heart, hey, we care about the same little girl, and this is I felt like it was compassion almost in that situation. But then by the end of it, June very quickly gets her jab in and then leaves. So I thought for a second there, I'm that's not at all how I expected that to go. And then June brings it back to how I kind of expected it to go.
I feel like Miss Mackenzie is doing what we've seen before with other people, where she's not really thrilled they're in the situation they're in, but she's just doing the best she fucking can. That was my interpretation of that conversation. She's a true believer in the religion, but maybe not about how they go about things.
Yeah, I just think that it was a strange situation to see a person, especially someone who believes in Gilead, to take the time to almost console June.
Mm-hmm.
It was I did not expect it. So it was definitely a shift in the vibe I was expecting, because she seemed to be able to command the eye or the guardian that was in her home that showed up there pretty easily, knew him by name, and could have easily had her taken away, hurt, other things happened to her, but instead
she even criticized the guard when he hit her.
Right.
Gut check.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
She's like, no, none of that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So she pulled that back. But right after that, and she's zip tied. I'm sure you're familiar with those zip ties.
Mhm.
You use them a few times, right?
What was I just watching where they had... Oh, Aaron and I started watching Animal Kingdom, old show, and the guy he uses them.
Good series.
Yeah.
I like that series.
Based off of an Australian crime family. Did not know that.
I didn't know it was based off true stories.
It's roughly based off of...
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's... Like, it's definitely made for TV.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway, June gets taken away from that house and gets brought to Nick at the Waterfords.
Yeah.
Goes inside, and that interaction was really interesting between June and Serena.
Serena feels like I did. You know, there's no guarantee there. You left that up to chance. Like, that's not good enough for me. Like, I would have felt the same way Serena did in that moment. Like, I gave you my hope. Like, I gave that to you, trusting you to see that through. But the interesting thing in that whole situation for me was what June said to Serena. It was almost like deep down inside, she did it out of malice.
Yeah, right at the end before she hugged her.
Yeah, because what did she say? It's like, I don't know word for word, but it was basically like, you know, you calling them Gilead, but saying you guys, calling her and Fred specifically, but referring to all of Gilead, chased me through the wood with my kid with dogs and ripped her from my arms with screaming. Along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that you're feeling right now like I felt that day. Like, whoa, okay, that changes, maybe not in the moment what June was thinking, but that changes subconsciously a lot of like how June's been operating. She did ultimately try to hurt Serena, and that changes the previous situation quite a bit.
I feel like it wasn't intentional to hurt Serena when she was getting the kid out of there.
She just used that moment to dig it in.
Attacked. She's cornered. She's threatened. Like, she could die at any moment.
So, yeah, I mean, I could see that too. I don't think that maybe, you know, in the moment when she's handing the baby Nicole off to Emily, I don't think she's thinking in the back of her mind, fuck Serena. I don't think that's really what's going through her mind. But she does absolutely use that as ammo in that moment to hurt Serena when Serena's already the most distraught we've ever seen her.
In that scene, she was being yelled at by Serena, and Serena was just attacking her when June knows she's in the right. Yeah. So how would you feel if someone is coming at you and you are 100% in the right with what's going on, and then you just reflect what that other person did to you?
It's a hard pair of shoes to put on because I don't think that way. Right? There's never a situation where I'm 100% right. I'm human. I'm flawed. I'm going to have my own bias and my own values and my own lens to look things through. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very different than other people. So I don't think I could do that.
We know as the observer that June's right.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to put those shoes on. Like, I'd have to be in that heated, traumatic situation of like physical altercation for me to be like, would I go there? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was just an emotional reaction. That's all it was when she snapped at Serena like that.
Well, as I analyze it more, she can't physically harm her. Like, that would be a death sentence. Like, she can't strike Serena, especially in front of Fred. So the only thing she has is her sharp tongue, which we've seen her use many times in the past.
Which, when we were at the house with the foster mother, was it? The foster mother was like saying to June that she's very good at getting the commander to do what she wants. You see June smile just right before the cooking thing, and June's like, she gets that from her father, Luke, right? And the whole time we're supposed to be thinking that scene when she does that little smirk, yeah, she gets that from me.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That is, it's not very subtle. Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to be thinking that for sure.
I love that fact though. But that whole scene there, Fred's like not in control of either woman in that scene.
He never really is. He's like, he's put in a position where he's supposed to be in control. And that's an appearance thing. Mm-hmm. But since we've met him, Serena's done what she wanted, no matter what. June's done what she wanted for the most part. So he has no real control. Nick does what he wants. It's all an illusion. It's a perception for him. Like, he perceives that he's in control. And I think they give him enough of that so that he believes it. But Fred's not in control of anything.
But he's angry, pissed off, yelling. But the moment that Serena is up in June's face and she kind of collapses against her and June hugs her, do you see on Fred's face that he was just like, fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Serena's a huge component to why June got away. Fred's biggest thing is he doesn't want to die. Multiple times in this episode, he's referred to the fact that if anyone found out, they'd all be on the wall.
Yes. Until later on when he's talking to Serena and he tells her the spin story and is like, I did this to protect you. But we all know in that instance that he's guilting her or shaming her by protecting himself.
Yeah.
That shit is just...
And then she lights the house on fire.
That was great.
It was very symbolic. I love that.
Now you understand why the house is burned down in season 6.
Now I do, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very symbolic. Fire is great symbolism, right? It's cleansing, it's purifying, it's a start of a renew. And then right after the fire, you have the somatics, which I thought was great. They do a really good job with this in Handmaid's Tale, where they each get into different cars and then they each drive in different directions, showing kind of like where they are mentally and where they are in their journey. Each one of them has a different goal, a different path that they are setting out on from that house after it burns. I thought that was really cool, the way they like showed that symbolism.
And the way Nick was like, yeah, good luck.
Yep. Yeah. No, and then she goes to the Red Center for punishment, gets her feet lashed, has to scrub a little bit, and then gets sent to Lawrence, which...
You're not going to be a problem, are you?
Yeah, and then she just smiles, right?
No, Commander.
Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting because Lawrence obviously flies very loose with the rules, even though he will keep up appearances. He will do what is necessary to maintain his own life and keep appearances. We know that. He's very self-preservation. But at the same time, June's got a lot more free reign to like think, connive, mastermind, and do things because she's not under the Waterford's watch anymore.
I'm so excited for you to see this season.
I'm getting excited again about it because I tell you, like the end of season 2 really hit me, and I had to push a lot of logic aside to want to keep moving forward. And so,
logic or emotions?
I think logic for me. Logically, it doesn't make any sense why the things happen the way they did.
I think that's because of emotions, is what I'm saying.
I'm not really an emotional person, though. Did you think maybe you would be the best observation of this? You sit across from me.
I think you're very emotional.
Okay.
You just do a very good job of tempering it down, I think I would say. But as we've all said before, emotions drive everyone. Yeah.
No, 100%. But I think that because of the nature of what we do, we get a chance to like actually think about it. Right. So we get the chance to remove emotion and have logic.
You can never remove emotion.
Oh, well, you haven't met you, have you? You can remove emotion and be very analytical, almost robotic sometimes.
Yes, but there's still emotion involved.
Is it if it's suppressed so much that you don't feel it, is it there?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess this is a conversation for another time, but I guess we have a different opinion on that. As all things, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we get the cut to Emily.
Hold on, before you do.
Okay.
When June gets sent up the stairs to her room, she's followed by Nick, who's pretty much calling her a fucking idiot the whole time up.
Yeah. Him and everyone else just risked their fucking lives to get her out, and she spat in their faces.
This was your last chance to get out. You know you're gonna die here now. And she's like, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't want to brush that part over.
Yeah.
All right, we can go back to the escape scene with Emily if you want that.
The problem with that scene for me is it further drives the nail into me not understanding June. I don't. I guess that's really where it's not that I don't like her. It's I don't understand her. I don't understand her thought process. And maybe I'm a guy. I live in very comfortable times. I've been through war and trauma, but I don't currently live in it, nor do I have to suffer through it on a daily basis. So it's maybe I'm so far removed from it, I don't get it, and that's fine. But I'm struggling with her character. I love Emily's journey, like Lawrence, Aunt Lydia, a lot of the Janine, a lot of the other characters. No problems there. But I think a lot of June's decisions I'm struggling with.
So I don't remember a lot of what I was feeling when I was watching the series. I don't remember all the scenes and everything from the first time I saw it. But what I do remember is being annoyed and pissed off at June a whole lot while watching it.
So maybe it is that you guys have seen it once before and now you're coming back through with a different lens. I would ask that maybe when you watched it the first time, what was your opinion? And then if it was, no, there's no right or wrong. I get, people tell me I'm wrong all the time and that's just an opinion, right? So it is what it is. I would like to know.
So you were going on about Emily with the escape.
Yeah, so we jumped to Emily's escape.
With the drones above.
Yeah, very cinematic, right? Very cinematic escape. No guards anywhere, but a whole lot of drones and a river. And so she goes through the river, gets caught up in the current. Her and the baby almost drown. We think the baby, or we're, as the viewer, are supposed to think maybe the baby's dead. And we hear the baby cry, and then we hear car doors closed. Oh shit, she's caught, right? She got caught. Drones got her. Nope. Turns out she got across the border. It's Canada. He's coaching her through exactly what to say so that they can actually help her. And once she claims asylum, they call in the ambulance, they call in all the support, and she is rescued. We get to see her being very apprehensive about the situation. But as soon as she sees that there are female doctors and that there's a little bit of a warm reception, something she wasn't quite ready for.
Could you imagine if Gilead went and faked the whole thing?
How sinister.
How fucked up that would be. Just to get them to lower their guard before they abused or did whatever to her. Man, that would have been so screwed. But that's what I was thinking while you were talking about. I didn't think it last night, but as you're talking about
it. The level of mental manipulation and emotional manipulation that would put someone through would be intense. I mean, they already go through the ringer.
It's not a stretch.
No, it's not. Wow, that'd be sinister. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's not what she experiences.
Yeah.
She gets a very warm welcome. She actually gets a female doctor, a pediatrician who greets her. She's willing to accept help, but not willing to let go of Nicole, which I tip my hat to her. I did not. Well, one of my biggest concerns is when you give somebody in a situation of self-preservation, an infant who is not theirs, are they going to do everything it takes to protect that infant? We don't know.
She gave you the reason why when she explained to them that June saved my life.
Right. Yeah, we get that at the end of the episode. But, if we were to say just in everyday life, if we were in a situation like that and we had someone who we knew briefly through the interactions that we were allowed to have, right? Because they're not really allowed to hang out. They're allowed to talk a little bit at the shops or when they're shopping and stuff. So briefly know this person, really don't know much about them other than they're in a traumatic situation like you. And then you have to trust them with your newborn.
As I keep saying, trauma bonds all.
It's just, and the big thing is it's an impossible situation, right? It's an impossible situation with an impossible choice. And so I feel strongly one way. Some people can feel strongly another way. Again, unless you're actually wearing those shoes and standing there in that moment, we're all freaking armchair quarterbacks, right? So it doesn't freaking matter at the end of the day. But what I want to say is that I want to tip my hat to Emily because I did give her some grief in a previous episode about how that could go wrong. And it didn't. It was written to go right. And I want to say that I, as a viewer and as a father, was extremely happy to be wrong that baby and Emily made it to safety. It was one of the heartwarming, more refreshing scenes of this series is to see someone like Emily who suffered greatly and someone who's innocent like little Nicole, infant baby, make it somewhere safe and then get proper treatment, proper care. And then also the scene with Luke and Emily was top notch.
Before we go there, there's two thoughts I'm still wrestling with for that scene when she's in the hospital. You see all the people staring at her as she's walking in.
Mhm.
I still am confused whether it's one, because they're relieved that a woman or maybe another woman, I don't know how many people have escaped in that process and they've seen before, whether that's why they were in awe or if it was awe because they saw a baby.
That was my so
I'm torn between both those.
it doesn't have to be one or the other, right? It could be the combination. Like, how often does this Canadian embassy, this hub, see a escaped handmaid with a newborn? Like, that's two anomalies put together. Of course, everyone's going to stare. I don't think it's one or the other. It might be the fact that it's a combination of both. I mean, of course, if one of those were to walk in, it would bring eyes. But now you put both of those together, now you got the whole building being like, what the hell's going on?
So the way that all the staff was so supportive, I think that was one of the most beautiful things that you could see in that moment after we just saw that whole devastating thing of June having to leave the child behind and give it to Emily.
Yeah. No, it was, like I said, heartwarming. And it was like exactly as a viewer and a father what I needed to see. And it was like, I've been to Canada a bunch of times. They're super friendly and super helpful up there. And I was like, oh, it's, just Canada, being Canada. They're very nice people.
Now we can go to Moira and
so
the post office thing.
Yeah, I knew this was coming. Just based, like, as soon as we cut to Moira and Luke rushing somewhere, and I knew that Emily and Nicole were safe.
They had no idea that Emily was there.
Right, but I knew as the viewer this reunion was coming. I was actually surprised that they were at like a post office and got a piece of mail first. That threw me off. I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
I feel like that was Moira's doing right there. That's why she's like, oh yeah, we were slammed when all these people came in or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And create the little bond with the other person handing the stuff out together, working the other thing, right? But she hands them the photograph, but I don't recall, how did that photograph get sent?
That's what I'm saying. The photograph was in the baby's blanket or shirt or whatever it was. She like stuffed it in there and said, someday you're going to meet her, and then hands the baby off. So that photo was rolled up and put in, so it made it to Canada, went through the water to Canada. Emily somehow, or one of the Canadian officers, but there's no name. That's a mystery that I'm not going to be able to solve because there's too many missing variables there, too many missing pieces. Let us know if you guys got what we missed. But the awesome part about all of that is it does bring them to a central location where Emily can say, hey, are you Luke? I'm surprised that Moira and Emily didn't recognize each other. Like that was weird because Moira was a handmaid at the same time Emily was. So that was weird. They didn't know each other. But either way, they very quickly get familiar, and that's where we find out, the deep debt that Emily feels inside of her for June ultimately saving her. And what I'm guessing is going to happen next is Luke's going to raise Nicole.
Okay.
But we didn't see that for sure.
Good eye on that. So two things real quick. Moira could have maybe not remembered Emily, because how many times have you seen someone that you served with out in the wild in civilian clothes, even when you were on active duty, right? And you see them in civilian clothes and you're like, whoa, I never would recognize you, kind of thing. Because you're so used to seeing them in that uniform.
Yeah, but you still recognize them. It takes you a second because it's not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm the guy to ask that question because I'm the master of Where's Waldo.
Okay.
I'm very good at finding people.
Fair enough. The other thing I want to ask is, as a father, I don't know how I would feel or how I'd react, but all Luke kept saying is, oh my God, she's so big.
Yeah, I mean.
So I don't understand that piece. Is that something maybe you relate to more?
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. It's been 3.5 years, maybe even 4 years now since Luke's seen his baby girl. Knowing that she's in one of the most horrific places she possibly could be and he can't do anything about it. And then to see Like the memory in his mind, the picture in his mind is of an infant, as a little like the 2-year-old. And now we see her, a child when they're 2, from when they're 2 to when they become like 4 or 5, changes quite a bit. They lose that kid pudge. They start to grow into themselves. Like they start to become the young human they will be. Like if you look at my son, Caden, especially because he's 10, he's getting so big. If you look at him at 5, he has this big head, these huge cheeks. You look at him now, he's tall, he's slender, he's a totally different kid. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you that Luke's having that same feeling right now. Like, oh my God, look how big she is. I can't believe it. Like she's becoming a person. I'm look at what I'm missing. Look at the features. Like she looks so much more like me now. I'm sure all those emotions are going through him, but all he can say is, wow, look how big she got.
That's the only thing he can think to say.
It's probably the only thing that's coming out of his mouth, but he's probably thinking everything. Yeah.
Okay. So I figured you'd be a better person to answer that one, but
yeah,
because I can't relate to that, obviously.
I mean, I can't either because I've had my kids my whole life. I've never had to be away from them more than a work trip or something, right? But that's what I would think would be the response, just based on my own parenting.
So I remember, based on watching this episode, where we're going with these things, and I'm super excited for you to watch the rest of this season. Oh man, it's gonna be a trip.
Yeah, we're out of the water. We're out of the Waterford's house, and we're into Commander Lawrence's. So I get to see a lot more Commander Lawrence. I still get to find out how Aunt Lydia's healing up and what's going to happen with her. I'm sure there's going to be more Serena and Fred and Nick mixed in here somewhere, even though June's not directly living with them anymore. And then we also have Janine and the rest of the handmaids who are always backing her up and helping her out, that we get to see, their struggles and what they're going through. So, yeah, well, excited to keep on going.
The most fun Commander Lawrence.
And yeah, absolutely Commander Lawrence, most fun. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed already, go ahead and do so. We'll see you guys down in the comments. Can't wait to chat with you down there. And if you're not done watching videos yet, we've got plenty for you to check out. And if Handmaid's Tale is not the only video you like, we're also reviewing a lot of other stuff. If you like the way we talk about stuff, check out another video and see if it's right for you. So we'll see you there. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.